The text came in at 2:14 a.m., lighting the ceiling like a confession that didn't know how to whisper. Congratulations on the exit. You okay? I stared at my phone, heart thudding, the word exit burning into my retinas. I hadn't told anyone yet. Not my parents. Not my wife. And definitely not whoever this was. I slipped out of bed, careful not to wake her. The house smelled like lavender and coffee grounds. Normal smells, comforting smells, and I hated them for how normal they felt. I typed back, "Who is this?" 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Daniel. My wife's phone buzzed on the nightstand. I froze. For weeks, something had been off. Missed calls, she shrugged away. Her phone angled just a little too far from me. Work trips that didn't add up. Excuses delivered with a practiced softness. I told myself it was stress. The company was finally being acquired. $1.2 billion. A lifetime of code, of nights on a folding chair, of ramen dinners and bug hunts, coming to a close. Stress could explain a lot. But stress doesn't text your wife at 2:14 a.m. By morning, the deal was public. Headlines everywhere. My parents, my board, called me into a glass-walled room that smelled like new money and betrayal. They didn't look at me when they said it. "Son," my father began, voice tight. "The acquiring firm wants clean leadership. They are restructuring." "Restructuring," my mother echoed, eyes glossy. "You're not part of the plan." I laughed. It came out wrong. "Hello. You sold my company." "We did what was best," my father said. "For everyone." "For everyone," I repeated, thinking of the text, of the dots blinking on my wife's phone. "And I'm fired." There was paperwork. A severance package that looked generous on paper and felt like hush money in my hands. I signed nothing. At home, my wife, Sarah, moved through the kitchen like a stranger wearing her face. She kissed my cheek, quick and careful. "I heard," she said, "about the sale." "Did you?" I asked. "From who?" She hesitated. A fraction too long. "Everyone's talking about it." Her phone buzzed again. She didn't look at it. I did. Daniel. Same name. Same initials as the acquiring firm's lead partner. I didn't confront her then. I needed proof. Or maybe I needed time to accept that the life I trusted had been quietly rerouted without my consent. That night, while she slept, I opened her laptop. I hated myself for it. I hated that I knew her password. The messages were ordinary at first. Meetings, jokes, shared stress. Then the language softened. Became familiar. Became intimate in a way that didn't belong to me anymore. "He doesn't understand me like you do. I wish we'd met earlier. After the deal closes, everything changes." And then the worst line, the one that settled in my chest like a stone. "Once he's out, we can stop sneaking." I sat on the floor until the sun came up, memories replaying with new subtitles. Late nights, she said, were yoga. The way she flinched when I touched her after meetings. The way Daniel's name had slid into our lives as just a contact. When I confronted her, she didn't scream. She didn't deny it. She cried. "I didn't plan it," she said, hands shaking. "It just happened." He listens. "You were always gone." "I was building our future," I said. My voice didn't sound like mine. She nodded, tears streaking. "I know. And I hate myself for it." The room felt small. Too small for the weight of what she'd done. Of what my parents had done. Of how thoroughly I'd been removed from my own life. That's when the other truth surfaced, quiet but solid. They had the company. They had the money. They had the headlines. But I had the code. Every line. Every failsafe. Every proprietary system lived in my private repository, licensed to the company under my name. Transferable, sure, but never transferred. I didn't weaponize it. I didn't threaten. I simply informed the acquiring firm's legal team that continued operation required my authorization. The calls came fast after that. My parents apologized. The firm negotiated. Sarah watched it all from the doorway, realizing too late that control isn't always loud. In the end, I walked away with a clean settlement, my code intact, and a marriage I no longer recognized. Sa asked if we could try again. I looked at her, the woman I loved, the woman who chose someone else while I was choosing us, and felt something settle. Not anger. Not hatred. Just clarity. No, I said gently. I need to rebuild somewhere honest. I left the house with a single bag. No dramatics. No speeches. Just the quiet understanding that betrayal doesn't always arrive screaming. Sometimes it slips in as a text at 2:14 a.m. And the hardest part isn't losing everything. It's realizing what you're finally free to take back.